Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and when you're watching this, welcome to a new vlog. I don't know if you can see in the background. I don't think you can because this is a very wide aperture lens. So the background would be, there would be a lot of bokeh in the background. But the riding gear is set again, all cleaned up, ready to go. Don't know when, but hopefully sometime in October. We'll do a short ride in August or September, that's there, but big ride bullet or maybe October, November. Shoes are pretty dirty, need to clean them up. So these shoes, the Adventure GTX by Climb, went through various weather conditions and they held up well, but there is some jugaad that I need to do on this shoe, not this one. You remember this gap that was opening up? You see how that portion is opening up slightly? So that is something I glued up. It partially opened up and that's why it was not fully waterproof, like at least 90% was waterproof but not fully, so need to patch it up. So I wrote to Climb to see if they can do something about it, maybe send me a replacement because this is the second time it opened up, and they suggested me to use a glue. Wonderful service, Climb, wonderful. Either way, that's a warranty issue. I've submitted a claim on their website to see if they would replace it. Since this is an international order and a sponsored shoe, I don't know how it would be acknowledged locally. So that is something I need to work out. But I at least expected a better response from Climb in terms of how the shoe can be serviced. I think if you purchase the shoe locally, the vendor who sold it might be able to do something. But if you have gotten a sponsored product, like, I've done my jugaad. It's not like the first instance of complaint I've asked them to replace it. I've done my jugaad and they told me to order a stronger glue. It was weird, but that's how it is. Ordered that glue. Let's see if that works out. Otherwise, Climb needs to take some responsibility because this glue that they have on the sole is not strong. It is observed on Chaitanya's shoe too. That seems like a design issue. Either way, 90% of the time the shoe holds up well. For me, it's only in that case. The other side of the shoe is perfectly sealed. So it's probably inconsistent application, whatever tool that they're using. I think the problem is not with the Gore-Tex quality. It's just that the glue quality that's used on the sole. So I don't need to utilize that lifetime Gore-Tex warranty. All Gore-Tex gear have lifetime warranty, guys. So if you're in the riding market and if you want something waterproof, Gore-Tex is the way to go. The second one I think is Dyneezy D-Dry is pretty good. It's more breathable. So these are the gloves that I use. Dyneezy D-Dry, basic gloves, touring gloves. They've held up pretty well. The only problem is they're more breathable, so they get slightly wet, but not totally wet. So these are probably better for our weather conditions. So definitely check this out in case you want something waterproof, but slightly more breathable. Let's not take the good bits away because of the small glue issue. These shoes, the Adventure GTX boots, have been pretty good for most of the conditions. In fact, I've tried it at Rajasthan heat in the middle of the desert, snow in Kardungla, rains in North India. Like, the only thing that's left is maybe slush that needs to be tested. But if you see my pictures on Instagram, this has gone through some of the toughest conditions one can imagine for shoes, and my feet were 90% of the time dry. By the way, there's not a sponsored video, so I'm not saying good things just because they sponsored that shoe. It's just that I want to be upfront and clear with you what's good and what's bad about it. As I said, service hasn't been great, but that can change if you bought locally because the vendor would service you, not Climb directly. I'm dealing with Climb directly. Their riding gear, oh boy, it was the best I had. That is something universally accepted by Chaitanya Shriman, who rode with me. GTX Pro is one of the best because it's more breathable than the regular Gore-Tex. So I've definitely watched for their riding pant and riding jacket. I think I might change the color. At least one of them, maybe get a black pant instead of the blue one if I have to redo the whole process. But otherwise, thoroughly happy with the riding jacket. And it was a hectic process getting the gear just before the travel, unboxing it, returning it. They still need to process my return from the jacket that I sent 1.5 months back. So things are slow, but they will eventually happen. Anyway, talking about unboxing, this has been lying here for a long time. So this is something that I ordered for the Nexon EV. I've been lazy to unbox it because I thought I wouldn't get a chance to test it. This is something to do with touring on the Nexon EV. You might have seen many videos of this, but this is the first time I'm planning to use them because I plan to do some rides on this. Chalo, let's unbox it and see what's in the package. So there's an earthing plug. I think the size is around 25 meters. This goes to the box and the other to the earthing rods that come with it. A lot of plug points in India don't have good earthing, so this is the tool to make sure any 3-point plug works, and hopefully we can try it out later today. This is just a towing cable. The best bit about this towing cable is it's quite thick and it's slightly stretchable. Very important because sometimes the tow cables can break. You need something that is stretchable, but at the same time that's hard. This is a good quality towing cable here. So this is another tool that's used for earthing. If there is any metal rod or something that goes to the ground, you can connect this part to that, and this goes to the charging plug. So there are different ways to earth a connection, right? This is one of those rods that goes into the earth. This goes to a pole which is already connected to the ground, and this is something that can be dipped inside water. I think this is copper. That's a material that goes into water, so you can ground through water, mud and metal. 3 different options. Let's see what's inside this, because this looks like a small voodoo tool or something. Better way. This is just an extension box, guys. Nothing special about this. A long extension box, so that in case I am traveling in a hotel or something, I can definitely use this. So this is the extension box with a 15 amp 16 amp socket. Let's say you are at a hotel or some place, and if you think there is earthing that's already available, you can convert it into internal earthing and then plug the charging cable here and use the extension box. This is nicely integrated into this box with a meter, so that you can pay from whomever you take the charging. So you use this meter to calculate how much of current that you have utilized and pay them accordingly if they want to take money. If the earthing is not available, this light would not glow. So if this light glows, then you can use the internal earthing. Turn this, and a trip meter just in case things go bad. And that's the travel setup for the Nexon EV. So hoping to use it someday. You see, I was talking about this metal connector or metal earthing solution. So this plugs in here, and you plug this one into an electric rod. That's it. So that's the Nexon travel kit here. We have a tow cable, extension kit for earthing, and 3 types of earthing base. Time to see if the travel charging works, because we have some big drives planned on the Nexon EV, and I want to be comfortable where there is no charging available, no fast charging available, because some places we might have to stop overnight, and this can do charging in 12 hours just like the home charger. This doesn't do fast charging because that requires a dedicated setup. What this is enabling you to do is use any 3-point plug, a 16 amp plug point, which probably even doesn't have good earthing. Most of the places don't have good earthing. My house has good earthing. I hope so. So time to test it out and see if it's working in my home in a different plug point, not the one that's set up by Tata. This is a 16 amp socket. We don't have a 5 amp socket. You can plug an adapter, but that's not ideal because it would be much slower to charge. Just do the math. Volts into amps is equal to watts. If it's a 5 amp socket and a 220 volt is what we get out of the plug points that we have, it's almost 1/3 the charging capacity. So the moment I turn on the plug inside, the meter is on, and since we are using internal earthing, the light glows up so that it shows the earthing is working. Let's see if we can charge the car right now. All 3 lights are on, so this should keep blinking if the car is charging, and this shows the connectors working fine. And as you can see, the car is charging. All good. It's raining a bit right now, so I'll stop everything, get inside, and maybe once the rain dies down, I'll see if there is any plug point around the house, a 16 amp plug point which has probably bad earthing. That should give us a good idea if the charging setup works. It's been raining non-stop since I stopped that experiment, so I decided to step out and see if I can get access to an unearthed 16 amp plug. And the only 2 houses that came to mind were either Shiva's apartment, which they should have a lot of plugs out in the open, or Rochi's house. Rochi's house, I remember I tried charging once, it didn't work, so that's definitely because of bad earthing. So we can definitely try our solution. I'm like 15 minutes away from their place and look at the weather here. I just hope we can finish the test before it rains, because there is definitely going to be rain here, and I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes. I just hope I reach in time, finish the experiment, record that, and show it to you guys that travel kit works. Didn't I just tell you it's gonna rain? Can you hear that? It's turning from a small drizzle to a big heavy rain. I don't know if I can charge the car now. So they have a garage, and also they have space which is covered. So maybe we can still try. Just hope I don't get electrocuted today, man. Let's see.
Plug point ni kuda video తీసే మహానుభావుడు నువ్వేరా. But seriously, if anything happens
Nothing happens. You'll come stay in my house.
I will not stay in your house. I'll go to a resort and you'll repair everything. Just
Okay, first test, it's working. See, this light indicates earthing is good.
wow.
And this is a meter, so
ఎంత పవర్ కన్సంప్షన్ నాకు డబ్బు
I'll
పే
pay the
చేస్తావు.
money. పెడతావా ప్లగ్ పాయింట్ లో? నేను ఆల్రెడీ ఆన్ లో ఉన్నా. Okay, let's do this.
ఫస్ట్ అది వీక్. అరే ఇక్కడ ఓవర్ పెడుతున్నావు వీడియోని.
Any feelings?
చూద్దాం కరెంట్ పోయిందనుకో.
Oh wait, actually we're using the dirt one. ఆ ఫేస్ టెన్షన్ నాకన్నా ఎక్కువ టెన్షన్ ఉంది మీ ఇంట్లోనే.
అక్కడి నుంచి ఇక్కడ వరకు వచ్చేసావు కదా, నాకు అదే భయం వేస్తుంది.
Happens. Oh yeah, the car's charging. You remember last time it didn't charge at the same plug?
I know, I remember.
It's not-
Obviously I remember.
ఛార్జింగ్ 5 hours 45 minutes, టైం టు 100%.
వర్కింగ్.
ధైర్యం ఉండి కార్లో కూర్చున్నాను, కార్లో కూర్చున్నాను, నేను ఫోన్లో కూర్చున్నా.
ఏం కాదురా,
ఇదేంటో స్క్రీన్ అంతా
రికార్డ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు అట్లా వస్తుంది.
బాగా తెలుస్తుందిరా రికార్డ్.
పీక్తావా నేను పీకాలా?
వద్దురా,
బై అరే కరెంట్ లేదురా దీనికి, ఎర్తింగ్ రా.
కనిపించట్లేదు. లాంగ్
నెక్స్ట్ టైం యూ కెన్ పుట్ సంథింగ్. ఇది వాటర్ కదా,
వాటర్,
సో యూ కెన్ యూస్ దాట్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ ఎర్తింగ్.
వాటరింగ్ అక్కడే వెనకాల చూసుకో.
The experiment worked, guys. So we can travel with the Nexon EV on the highway, and that earthing technique worked. Didn't try the water and the metal rod connectors, maybe some other time, but I'm sure it should work. And most of the places, the intention is to do earthing through the mud or dirt, unless let's say I'm gonna stay in a hotel where there's only basement, then I have to figure out a way to connect to a rod which is linked to the earth. That's going to be a tricky situation, but we have to, if we plan well, I think we can travel easily on Nexon EV right now. So that is sorted. I'm excited to start riding. Don't know when, how. I need to do some planning for that. Current route that I have in mind is the Vizag route, because we have fast chargers at Suryapet, Vijayawada, Rajahmundry and Vizag. Multiple, not just one. So we have some redundancy in case one doesn't work. So the travel kit that I showed to you costed me 10,000. It also can be assembled locally by an electrician, or you can go, if you have some knowledge into electricals, you can go to a hardware shop and get it. But let's try to support those startups who are trying to do something in the EV space. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section, and in case you're watching this at night time, have a good night and take care, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.